bullying you into doing that?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Sorry, Alira.
noted.
Did not mean to ruin your train of thought, but we're
No,
back.
it's quite alright. I was thinking of causes new weapons. However, I'm also thinking of the old wisdom. There's one reality, one truth. The rule of entropy. All things wither and die and give birth to something new. A cycle that I am very well versed in. A cycle that showcases such power that even the gods must abide. Some things require pruning, like a set of vines or carving, like our great castles into cave walls. But eventually it all returns back to the stone. So, how does one stand against inevitability? Oz was very boastful, but I don't think he fully understands what it is that he has promised. But the arrogance of a dragon? How can you tell them otherwise? How can you get them to listen? I meditate on these things. I sit deep in the ship, in the dark, in the place where the sun won't harm my eyes, in a place that's cool. And despite knowing that there's no earth under the nor sea under the ship, simply air, I try and maintain a point of calm, thinking back to my years of experience. It's it's odd, almost like history repeating itself. But I don't talk about the dark times, even with my newfound compatriots. Back in the times when we could give you a reason to be afraid of the dark.
The rest of the trip to Dragfast is rather uneventful. Aside from the delays that you informed the shipping guards on both sides that you would be experiencing, nothing nothing else comes to assail you. In fact, you didn't run into many of the man wars at all at the Serene Cove. So perhaps there's something shooing them away. But you find yourselves in the part of Drakefast that is called Newport. It is a two-part city, really, where Newport is what takes in all of the shipping from all over the rest of the world and then ships it back to the mainland, which is really only a uh, several miles ferry trip to the Old Town section of Drakefast. The the city is not nearly very tall. It's more stone structures similar to what you've seen at other cities that are maybe only several stories tall. Tallest being maybe a wizard's tower that you can see on the horizon, which you assume to be a wizard's tower because it's got some very opulent sort of points on it. But, assumptions about what resides there can be left to your own fairy tales. But primarily, what you see is a lot of ships. A lot of ships going in and out of a military fashion, of a cargo fashion, of a personnel fashion, ferries going between Newport and the old city, and the bustle of what looks to be a military fort. The the flags flown high are of the Grioran Empire's colors, and the 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 entirety of the island of Newport is surrounded by a stone wall. And your ship makes port. Your the person receiving all of the shipments is in the process now of unloading all of the cargo that you have brought to the city, and you are free to go about this morning in the port fortress of Newport and make your way to the old town if you would so like. So, with the hustle and bustle of a military fort at your viewing, what do you do?
Well, I suppose I'm going to go ahead and get a bird's eye view of the city, see what there is to do.
All right. Spending a polymorph to do so?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Red Cardinal.
Red Cardinal. All right. Are you looking for anything in specific aside from what the town looks like?
For the most part, I suppose I'm trying to find different key locations. If there's tourist attractions, if it looks like there are specific shops that might intrigue the group.
Okay.
And I guess if there are anything strange I see in the city, is there any sort of celebrations happening, that kind of thing?
Okay. In that case, make a perception check as a bird.
As a bird, I don't know my bird stats. Crow stat block 5e, I think is what I was using last time.
I think we were using a crow, yeah, as the baseline.
Crow or raven, yeah. It's the same. Bloop. So let's see, it's 17 plus 3.
Okay, so dirty 20. All right. So flying around the city, from your bird's eye view, in the way of goods shops, as far as that's concerned, there are definitely fewer goods shops than there was in Colcaster, because Colcaster is a massive city. This is more a little bit sort of downscale. It's more, mundane and everyday supplies. It's more along the lines of that. Primarily, what you see is that this city is mostly made of military bases, and so you see a lot of military personnel. You see a lot of commanders giving orders. You see that the guards are distinct in their armor from the actual recruits. As far as attractions for amusement and entertainment, there are some, not a lot, but some. As far as anything unusual in the city going on right now, it seems to be standard military fare, but also you getting an overhead view do see some of the some of the trainees for this special project that Imbril was part of start firing off blasts as if to practice on dummies. You have
hold
an
on,
overhead
firing.
of this.
Hold on. Firing off blasts, eldritch blasts, correct?
From what you understand, that's what it's called.
Okay. All right. My brain was like guns. No.
No. No, magical blasts.
All right. Okay. And is there anything in the immediate distance, such as like a surrounding geography, any sort of like castles in the distance, forts, things like that? Is there a forest? Are there lakes, rivers?
Most of the island of Newport is is a city. It's probably 10 by 10 miles when it comes to the whole thing, and then the whole thing is surrounded by a wall along the perimeter of the island. There are some forts, there are some garrisons, there are some bunks for the recruits. There's a number of these buildings don't look like they're particularly distinct, and you guess that that's on purpose. If there's going to be a lot of military personnel here, and a lot of ways in which that could be used to a enemy's advantage, most of the buildings look the same.
Okay, tweet. I don't like this place. I'm gonna fly back down to the group. Main thing I'm going to try and explain to them is that those military type folks that seem to be much like Imbril are here practicing those powers and things like that. So I just make sure everyone in the party is aware of that. No shenaniganery unless we want the whole city upon us per the troops. Shenaniganery if you think you can get away with it, but I'm really doubting you can.
Which caused the etchings on the blades do give off a very Tharizdun sort of a look. Now, whether or not that's actually going to be recognized by anyone, who's to say? But they have etchings on them that might be questionable.
We're just gonna close those backscabbers. They're opaque. There should be a little bit of additional fabric and leather to.
You can put on some kind of cloak or something to go over them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have extra fabric in your robes. You're just wearing them a little differently today.
Given your news, Arya, that is to be expected. Came here because the information we were given is that they are created in this area as well as trained too.
I see. Okay. Well, if that's what we're looking for, I can show you the way.
I don't think they'd take too kindly to us just walking onto their base.
I don't know that.
Cypher, give us a way in.
Cypher did give you a note saying that you're here on business of the noble families of the Shadowhar.
I don't know. Seems like we have a ticket that says explicitly that we can go on base and just walk in. But, if we want other ways, there are other ways to be done.
At least.
Cut out.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
At least with the appearance of being always from these families, that's a basis to get there and begin our investigation. Unfortunately, shenanigans are probably going to be involved to get deeper.
Hmm. Another thing we never considered. Ariel, she looks at you, Vanya. Hand on chin, other arm folded underneath, and underneath her elbow. You see she's got like this mischievous look again. You
What are you planning?
You look an awful lot like your brother.
You have to remember that my brother's on the run from our military.
Well, that was a thought, and now it's gone.
She's just gonna lean over, kiss the top of her head. It was a good idea, though.
Oh, he is wanted for desertion.
That's right. Well. Just saying. I don't think their uniforms are particularly difficult to replicate.
That is an option.
Just throwing out ideas.
How do
Well.
we want to approach this? Sorry.
I was going to say, is anyone going to act upon any of these ideas?
Do we want to find lodgings before we head to the military outpost?
There are
Begin these
there are some civilian sections of the city. There's just a lot of military here as well.
Yeah. We're gonna find lodgings first and continue to plan.
Tumbled wench?
Tumbled wench.
Tumbled wench!
The classic.
Yep.
Alright. You find yourself at the nearest tumbled wench, which isn't terribly far from the docks where you have your ship being unloaded. And the unloading is being taken care of by those who are receiving the shipments. So you get your 7 gold per ton, which amounts, I believe, to 700 gold because you had 100 tons.
Yep.
For delivery. So you have that in your coin purse now, as you have safely delivered all of the goods that you have been assigned. So there you go. It was on a delay, so they did say they had to take it out of your pay. But with all that being said, it would take a day or two for them to unload everything that got loaded in. So you are free to roam the city as your ticket might allow.
I feel like
Now,
we should
Coffee.
do some more information gathering.
I just want to double check.
Yes.
We are still under the govern. Sorry, I'm trying to end up gaining an understanding here. So, stupid question. This is still under the Empire rule, correct?
True. Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to end up finding temples or anything like that in here.
If you find anything that looks like a temple, it's usually repurposed.
Okay. No, I'm double checking because I am curious to end up seeing if I can find. I'm going to end up seeing if I can end up finding if they have a graveyard or anything of the like. We are, after all, still in pursuit of a cult, and we've found their influences far and wide.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually involved with bodies, so that's typically the first place to end up checking, just to end up seeing if we have any worries about it.
Since there is a civilian populace and a military populace, you imagine that there's going to be something to that effect. So, are you searching on this searching for this place on your own, or are you recruiting help?
If there is anybody who wants to end up coming along, then by all means.
Lagan has issued he's going to come along.
There.
Is Kaz or Vanya or Arya?
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. And Kurobe is going to stay on the ship and supervise all of the unloading, and even assist in that case, for the time being.
Thank you, Coffee.
Oh, I thought you were heading out.
I think he's thanking you for giving him the
out.
ability to out.
Yes, I was graciously thanking you for letting me back.
Yes, letting you. Yes, Kurobe can supervise and or help in the unloading of all of the cargo on this particular thing. So.
Okay, thank you. Take
right.
it easy, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
Vanya, Arya, and Kaz, what are you up to?
Well, I mean, I initially said I was securing the tumbled wench. If it was never communicated between parties, who was doing what?
I think we were all going to the tumbled wench to secure lodging. Then after,
Okay.
After that, yeah.
All right, that's what I was unclear on. So, if that's the case, then Arya is definitely going to the graveyard with.
Okay.
Vanya will tag along.
Okay.
Gotta have someone to protect these two.
I should come with for the simple point of it's probably not a good idea to leave me alone right now.
All right, Kaz. So everybody's tagging along, it looks like, Alira.
Oddly enough.
Yep. So, to further investigate some things that might be going on as far as shenanigans at a graveyard. So, you could simply stumble upon this place, or you could ask around. Which would you prefer to do?
Stumble around. We're a strange-looking troop, and given the fact that cultists seem to be kind of a worldwide phenomenon, best not to attract attention by asking about it and drawing suspicion upon us. Besides, we might end up running into something interesting along the way.
All right. If that's the case, then I'm going to call once again for a group check. No. It is going to be a perception check.
Please, no.
And again, I'm giving Alira a bardic inspiration. As much good as that did last time.
What is happening?
What happened? What'd you do?
Well, good news is that it's not a natural one on the D20.
Oh God.
Oh no. What?
There's your 2 and there's your 1.
Oh dear God, Derek.
So 2?
Oh no.
So
No. Good news is that I
actually has a positive stat for this.
I have a positive stat for this. You know, my perception is 9, but oh wait. This is daylight. I gotta do at disadvantage. There's the 19, but the 2 is what I'm have to take. So, there's your 19.
Poor Drow.
Damn it.
To all of 9 to Derek.
How's a nat 20 for a 31?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but
Natural
onto that I'm gonna add a natural 20 for a 27.
Metal claw coming up just enough for you.
What is with you guys' rolls, really? On skill checks.
It's
Of all
okay,
things.
y'all. I got you, because I'm also natty. Nat 1.
See, Derek, you didn't roll the worst this time.
I don't see shit.
I'm dying dead.
No. But what it is you're focused solely on Vanya's ass. That's what it is.
Solely.
Just, it's all just like
Solely.
hyper fixated.
Yep.
Yep.
On the curvaceous elf in front of you.
As we see her walk, just it's hypnotic. Cast hypnotic pattern without us without me needing to use a spell slot.
What about Lagan? What do you get?
27.
27. Okay.
So 2 natural 20s, a natural 1, and a high result.
Yes.
That's my third goddamn natural one.
Sorry, not natural 1, natural 2.
Natural 2.
Natural 2 for
Yes,
you,
two
natural
natural
1 for
20s.
Arya.
Things are looking up.
It's one better.
Man, the swings of this game, y'all. This some serious weird dice fuckery around.
You know
here.
what? I'm gonna increase my odds of rolling higher by just rolling a d4 from here on out.
Not a 1 in 20
Mathematics
anymore.
brains just broke, and yet it
No.
would be more accurate.
The thing is, given his current rolling thing, he's not wrong.
Phew, there is no in between.
No in between. Never.
Mhm.
Like I said,
I didn't roll a natural 20. I rolled an 18.
I gave
Still up
lethality complex the cursed item, not you.
No, he came into this with the cursed item. That's what it is.
Well.
Yeah.
He is
I
the
bought
curse.
these
What are you
specifically
talking about?
because the rest of mine were cursed.
Well, that
Apparently, they were
curse
cursed out of the box.
No,
But
they were
Derek,
rolling pretty hot at the
you are
very
the
start.
They
Derek,
were.
You are the curse. That's
I am
the
the
curse.
curse.
Oh,
I am the
no,
walking curse.
no. We love Derek.
I don't know what deal you made with some eldritch entity that has caused your probability to be cursed so. But I don't know. I think you need professional help, and I don't mean like a psychologist. I mean like an exorcist.
If I had to end up making a guess, it's that people like Mojo exist. So the counterbalance has to exist out there somewhere.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
they both ended up in the same game. That's the problem.
Well, today it's Raven, so.
And, yeah,
Okay,
Raven
as
and me.
Spectre pointed out to me, my dice love chaos. That's what it is.
Yeah, fair.
They will roll just weird in general.
Well, let's talk about what you find. So, you wander most of Newport, looking for cemeteries, mausoleums, places where the dead of Drakefast may be buried, of a civilian nature, as getting to the military operations, well, that's a little bit of a trickier deal, and it requires a lot more red tape than you're willing to go through right now. Don't want to draw any attention to yourselves, after all. So you mostly stick to the civilian sort of living spaces, and of course, along with that, just come with their burial spaces. You find that, indeed, that some are buried in a traditional fashion, where their bodies are encased in a casket of some kind and buried in the ground with a headstone to mark the place where they will eternally lie. Others, much like in Colcaster, are cremated and turned literally to ash, and that ash is then stored in a mausoleum in which they will forever lie as well. with the option for those who do want it to take such remains home, but that also never runs the risk of the dead walking, as you know. In the graveyard, it's it's rather simple. A lot of the people who are buried here are those who have served the Grioran Empire in some fashion. A lot of the grave markers are very plain, as there are lots of people from the Grioran Empire in the wars that they have been in over the last 100 years, where the body was returned in a shape that could not be identified. But, as per tradition, the marker is set there for them, and that they are honored for their service properly. Lots of the people who would come and visit these graves, along with the civilians who have died as well, leave markers of importance, like medals and trinkets and flowers, of course. Plenty of flowers that this country are known for, that are of a very beautiful and sometimes very magical nature, but these are obviously very mundane, and of course they've been, picked for the purpose of being a beautiful arrangement. You kind of wonder, kind of looking at these sites and looking at the names, the dates, the the sort of inscriptions that are left behind for them, almost as if you're kind of getting to know these people just that tiny bit, who they were and why they were important to the Empire. And among them are, just regular people. But then you see something unusual. Most of the grass on all of these plots have overgrown the digs that have happened. A few of these particular a few of the burial sites are clearly marked like they have recently been buried, but you do see some spots where the soil just seems a little disturbed, like the grass has been disturbed. To what end? You'll have to further investigate, but some of them have been disturbed.
Is it the recent ones or the ones that have headstones and...
Some of the older ones. Yeah, some of the headstones.
Yes, definitely want to investigate further.
Some of the fresher ones, you wouldn't be able to tell whether or not they'd been recently disturbed or recently buried. It's a coin toss on that one. But the older ones, you can definitely tell. Some of the dirt looks as if it's kind of sunk, and like the grass has kind of sunk with it.
Okay. Is it like their remains have been removed?
That is one theory.
I also have an out of character knowledge here that I'm trying not to use. That also means that whoever ended up burying this tried to end up making it flat, not considering that after a few years, if all those little bits of air pockets end up starting to leave and the ground naturally
Compound on
compresses.
themselves. Yep.
It's why when you end up burying a grave, you actually leave a mound on top because eventually it
Eventually
settles
it sinks
out.
itself. Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of dirt knowledge for all you.
The thing I happen to know about digging graves.
All right. So what do?
I'd like to try an investigation, but that's actually a terrible freaking idea for me.
Given your dice today, I don't want you rolling any more dice.
Do you want to help somebody investigate this?
You can
Yeah,
propose the
that's-
idea and someone else lead.
Because
Okay.
Lagan is wholly intent on investigating.
All right, then Lagan, by all means, you roll.
Roll at advantage because Alira is helping.
Helping by not rolling.
Nope, just granting an advantage.
You said this is investigation?
Yep.
Yeah.
18.
18. Well, definitely from what you see, there is the distinct possibility that remains have been removed because the dirt is definitely sunk in further than it should, and it does look as if they tried to place the grass back on top it perfectly, but they might have missed a spot.
Okay.
Without, digging up the grave yourself and seeing if the remains are still there. There's not much more you can do on the surface. Unless you've got another idea.
Hold on.
Is there something that you would like to do with it?
No. I was trying to see if I had a cantrip that might end up helping, but no, not really.
Or any other spell?
Yeah, I think there is.
Okay.
There is one.
All right.
I am going to speak with plants.
With the grass that's on this grave?
Well, you imbue plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, giving them the ability to communicate with you following simple commands. So you can question about events and the spell's area of the past day or anything like that. So whatever looks the most recently disturbed is where I'm going in.
Okay.
Or where I'm suspecting, shall I end up saying.
Okay. To find the one that's been most recently disturbed, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Okay. Good news. I rolled a 6, so with plus 9, that ends up meaning 15.
Hey.
Yes.
Not
Finally, something.
Not bad at all. That's why we put those modifiers so high that even low rolls can actually get you good results. So, you kind of look around and are looking for the site that's been the most recently disturbed. You do find it. It's a little ways away from that first one that you found. It is, it looks like one of the military personnel graves, a John Doe. So, you cast speak with plants in this area, and you speak with the grass and maybe some of the shrubbery that's kind of in the vicinity to
Hopefully
inquire.
there's a nearby tree or something like that.
Yeah. And so, what do you ask of the plants around you?
All right. Very first thing, is there a body in this grave? Their roots dig deep.
The tree nearby would answer you, no.
Well, body's gone. Did somebody come and dig it up?
The grass kind of all shouts to you, yes.
One at a time, one at a time. Did they come at night?
All of the plants around you answer yes.
Is it the same group?
They wouldn't know how to answer that question. Because the spell's limit is for the last day.
Okay. All right. Nope, that is fully understandable. Kind of leans down, places her hand upon the grass, the graves.
The grass kind of coos as if you're petting it.
And she looks up at the tree.
Just kind of sways in the wind.
In 24 hours, what can I establish? There is... Are your roots still severed? They dug up the grave. That means they cut into the dirt, which would actually give us a timeline on how long ago this has happened.
The grass would all say yes, and when you kind of jiggle the grass a little bit, you do feel like it's a bit of turf, like when you put turf down fresh. It's as if it slides around a little bit like that. The tree would say, my roots were not harmed.
Okay. Did they leave anything? Or is there anything left down there besides the casket? Presuming a casket.
Just the wooden vessel.
She stops and starts to speak in that odd elvish that she does. The body was removed a little over a day ago, maybe 3. There is... Actually, I'd like to use a survival check.
Ooh.
Again.
What are you planning to find out?
I want to end up knowing, based on the rate of growth from the cut, because you said that I can lift it up so I can actually see on how much it is, how much the roots have regrown, because that'll end up telling me when it was dug up.
Add a bardic inspiration die to that.
Okay. Survival with
Well,
bardic
I
inspiration.
appreciate the fact you gave me a bardic inspiration, because I rolled a 4, 5, okay, and 9, so that's an 18.
18. Okay. Very
18
easy.
on a 4.
Very easily done for you, Alira. You kind of lift up the graft of grass. You see that the roots of the grass have very little growth left on growth that's happened on them so far. They have not sunk into the new dirt yet.
So estimated in days, how long has this been? How long ago was this?
You estimate within 2 days.
Okay. And I'm going to end up taking a quick bit, and you see her like she's moving very quickly, like she's piecing something together. And I'm going to end looking at the rest of them doing the same. Now, Coffee, to let you know what my mind is, I'm trying to see if there's a pattern.
Okay.
Like if it's every 2 days, if it's every week, if I can establish if it's like if there's a case of I can end up pinpointing what night are they going to do this next.
Actually, I'm going to base that off of your existing roll. With an 18, you're going to each and every one of these plots and examining them for examining the grass for extra growth. Some of them have already started to regrow and go back into the dirt. So you give maybe a week, maybe 2 that this one that is that old. The next newest one that you find is a day before the most recent one, so 3 days ago. So anywhere between a week and 3 days, a week and 2 days, they've been digging up several of these predominantly John Does. They're, in fact, none of the corpses dug up have had names on them.
All right.
All of them have had no name, or the common John Doe equivalent in the Gregoran Empire.
Mm-hmm. The body couldn't be identified.
Yeah.
So if that is the case,
Which
that
makes for
leaves
great
to
walking skeletons.
True.
Given the markers on these graves, can we tell, is there a date of how long they've been there?
Like their date of death? Their date of death on many of them, since the Gregoran Empire hasn't been in open conflict with any country in probably 100 years, most